When I was thinking about what to talk to you about in this blog, I had lots of big ideas and what's the biggest and best thing I've learned over the last 10 years. And trust me, the last 10 years of my life have been filled with so much change. And I was thinking, well, I could do this. And then I was like, can I tell them a story about one of my clients? And then I was thinking of all of the moments where I've noticed a real change in my clients in the space when they sing and their voice suddenly opens up. And also something that I tried in the 5-day challenge that came up in one of my answers to somebody's question. This came up. And what I want to talk to you today about is your toes. I know that sounds strange, because I like to talk about singing and performing and confidence and being kind and compassionate to yourself and being happy and leaning into the joy. That all stands. The reason I want to talk to you about your toes is if you ask yourself how your toes are feeling in the middle of singing, it has this amazing effect of relaxing you. If you think about your feet, your toes, and how they feel, you can't simultaneously worry about how well or badly you're doing, what is coming up next, and what has just been, the mistakes you may have just made. I challenge you to think about it. Wiggle your toes and think about how they feel and try to simultaneously worry about what you're singing. It's impossible. And so often what happens when we are singing or practicing is that we get so tied up with what we're thinking about, what's going on in our heads, that we disconnect from our environment. And a really good shortcut for reconnecting with your environment is to wiggle your toes and ask yourself how they feel. Instantly, you're back in your body, you're out of your head, and it's, as I say, really hard to worry about what you're singing if you are thinking about your toes. What you may worry about is that if you wiggle your toes and think about your toes, you'll forget your words, or you'll go off track, or you'll forget where you are. Now, this may happen, but I bet you it will happen because if you go back to thinking about what you're singing and you're worried about forgetting your words, the first question might be, what are the next words I'm going to be singing? And then as soon as you ask that question, I bet you will forget your words. I mean, you might not, but so often when we ask ourselves the question, what am I going to sing next? What are the next words coming up? We're then thinking about what are the next words coming up, as opposed to our subconscious being able to throw up the words. And I've talked about this before in previous blogs. If you can trust yourself that when you wiggle your toes and reconnect with your environment, actually your subconscious has got this, and it's a song you know. Obviously don't try it with a song you know not at all, but even then it can work. But if you know this song, then your subconscious has got it. Your subconscious is the one that throws up the words. So I dare you to wiggle your toes and connect with your toes and see what happens to your voice. Because I've tried it with a number of singers and their voices have absolutely opened up. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for listening.